What is up, my fellow net dwellers? Couch Command here, and today I'm reviewing the latest and greatest release as far as weapon pack goes for Hunter Call of the Wild. This is the modern rifle pack. It added a 22 rifle, a 308, and a 223. Anyways, let's go ahead and jump right into it. The modern rifles pack adds 3 new guns to the game. You have a 308, a 223, and a 22. Both the 223 and 22 have pre-existing guns in their calibers. The 308 is really the only new caliber out of the pack. And as far as the 308 goes, just think of it to be essentially the same as the 30-06. As far as the guns go, you have 2 different skins for each caliber. For the 308, you have Moonlight, which is basically snow. And then you have Stalker, which is basically woodlands. For the 223, you have Ambusher, which is a wood-type camo. And then you have Midnight, which is basically just black modern. And then for the 22, you have Predator, which is basically woodlands camo for the buttstock and hand grip. And Shadow, which is just a tan or gray buttstock and hand grip. Let's go ahead and start by talking about the lowest caliber gun first, which is the 22. Big thing to remember as far as Hunt Call of the Wild goes is your ammo is more important than your gun as far as what you're going to do. The ammo is rated for certain creatures, and if you shoot something that is outside the rating, odds are your caliber is not going to do anything, and you also receive a point reduction as far as whenever you take that animal. So 22 is essentially only good for small game, which is rabbits, ducks, and I believe turkeys. Not 100% on that. There's only a single type of ammo for it. Unlike most other calibers have 2 types. This is just a standard hollow-pointed lead round. There already are 2 other 22s in the game, but it's the variant 22. It's basically a single-stop clip 22 rifle where it's got 10 rounds as far as the mag goes. Nice, accurate. Honestly, it's very comparable to Zarza-10 22. The big difference is it has Zarza-22 has less recoil, faster reload speed, and better hip shot accuracy, so it is a more accurate 22. But as a trade-off, and I don't know how this even exists, but the Zarza-22 is only a 5-round mag. That's right, it only shoots 5 bullets before you have to reload. Versus the variant shoots 10, or you also have the option of the Anderson 22 Marksman, which is also, I believe, an 8 or 10 round semi-automatic pistol. Next up for 223, it is a pre-existing caliber as well. You have the T223 Docent, which is a bolt-action rifle. The modern rifle version is superior in almost every way. Lower recoil, faster reload speed, better hip shot, same accuracy overall. As you can see, the Zarza-15 is basically modeled off of the standard M16 build where you have the large top-mounted handle grip as far as the sight goes with a normal non-free-floated barrel guard that goes excessively long with a very large raised front sight. Versus a more modern version of an AR where it'd be more like the 308 here, where you basically have M-lock going the full way with a free-floated barrel. As far as the 22... it works well, and 5 shots is normally enough to kill any rabbits you see. You normally don't have a shot at more than 5 at a time. However, if you're like me and you forget to reload, you can run into issues. But outside of that, it is very, very comparable to the variant. It is a little quieter, but outside of that, there's not really a huge difference between the two. The 223 in this game, in general, is probably one of the worst, if not the worst caliber. Despite the bullet being rated for small to mid-sized game, if you get past a fox, your penetration over 100 yards, which let's review. This thing says it has a 164-yard range. Its penetration at over 100 yards is basically less than 2 inches into the animal. Which means if you're actually trying to blow through a side to get to a lung, unless you're shooting straight on at the side, you're not hitting it. Front shots are exceedingly risky with this gun, and you're going to end up with a lot of prey walking away from it. My favorite gun out of the pack is, of course, the 308. This is a brand new caliber to the game, however, its performance is pretty much almost the exact same as the 30-06. The gun itself is rated up to moose as far as large game goes. It's from medium, which starts at boar, all the way up to moose. As long as you're not hunting the Alaskan maps or anything, you can essentially get by just carrying this as your larger rifle. If you're wanting the knockdown power to actually knock a moose or a bear over quickly and not having them take off running, I'd advise you going with a Magnum instead of the 308. As far as maps like Spain go, where the red deer is the largest animal you're going to be hunting, the 308 can easily knock over any animal on the reserve. And honestly, I think there's really not any real difference in between the 30-06, penetration of 40, expansion of 11 recommended for classes 4 to 8, versus the 308. Slightly higher penetration, slightly higher expansion out of the 308s, but they will absolutely knock down animals just the same way. So in conclusion, is the modern firearms pack worth it? I'm going to go with no. 223 is just too weak to be useful. The 22 long rifle is just as good, if not quite as good, as the existing 22 rifles or pistol. Honestly, I like the pistol the best. The only real good gun out of the pack is the 308, or the only real gun that adds any additional depth, but you already have a semi-auto in 30-06, and if you're just wanting that semi-auto, I'd probably go with that pack instead. Anyways, that's just my opinion. This was Couch Command. I hope you guys all have a good night, a great tomorrow, and amazing rest of the week. I'll see you next time.